Do you ever wonder where you'll be in the future? What if I told you that the actions you take right now, the decisions, the choices, and even the smallest steps will shape everything that comes next? Today, I want to make one thing clear. Your future isn't some distant event you can't control. It's happening right now, and it's created by what you do today. If you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or uncertain, that's okay. We all feel that way at times. But you have the power to turn it around. You're not a victim of your circumstances. Your future is in your hands, and the choices you make today will carve the path for everything that lies ahead. The power of transformation doesn't wait for tomorrow. It happens right now. If you want to change your life, today is where it begins. Stick with me because I'm about to show you how small, consistent actions can unlock the future you've always wanted. This isn't just a feel-good message. It's a call to action that will change your life if you choose to take it. The present is the only moment you can control. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday, and it certainly doesn't matter what may or may not happen tomorrow. Right now is all you have, and it's more powerful than you think. So why wait for the perfect time? The truth is, the perfect time doesn't exist. It's just an excuse that keeps you stuck in the same place. You can choose to sit around waiting for things to align, or you can take action today. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward building the life you want. Your future is built on the bricks you lay today. Let me ask you this. What if you started taking action right now? Think about it. The successful people you admire didn't wait around for perfect conditions. They started today. They took action with what they had, where they were, and that's how they built their future. Your future won't just magically happen. It's not some abstract thing that's out of your control. Your future begins today with the choices you make. So what will you choose? Will you keep waiting, or will you start moving forward right now? Habits define your life more than any single decision ever will. Sure, you can make a bold choice once, but it's the small, consistent actions you take every single day that truly shape your future. It's easy to think that big decisions are the key, but it's the daily choices, those little things you do each day that compound over time and determine who you become. Good habits are the roots of success, and just like the roots of a tree, they grow deep and strong with time. What you plant today will determine how high you grow tomorrow. The science behind habit formation shows us how powerful daily routines can be. Habits are hard to form, but they're also incredibly easy to sustain once they're established. It doesn't take a massive effort to change your life. It takes small, consistent changes. Think about successful people you know, whether they're athletes, entrepreneurs, or anyone who's achieved greatness. They didn't get there by making one big decision. They got there through disciplined habits, day in and day out. So what habits are you creating for yourself today? Are they habits that will push you towards success, or are they ones that hold you back? The good news is you can create the right habits, starting right now. Set yourself up for success by being intentional with your daily choices. Fear and self-doubt are normal. Everyone experiences them. But here's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Successful people don't let fear control them. They move forward despite it. You're always going to feel some fear when you try something new. That's a given. But it's not about avoiding fear. It's about using it as fuel to take action. Fear is just a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's exactly where growth happens. Think about the most successful people you admire. They didn't let fear stop them. They used it as a stepping stone. For example, think of someone like Steve Jobs. He faced rejection and failure more times than most people could count. But instead of letting fear control him, he embraced it and used it to push himself harder. He turned his failures into stepping stones, each one taking him closer to the success he would later achieve. What could you achieve if you stopped letting fear control your decisions? What if you chose to move forward, even when your mind tells you to stay safe? Confront your fears today and take that first step. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Don't let fear win. Your mindset shapes your reality. The way you think directly affects what you're able to achieve. A growth mindset, the belief that you can develop your abilities over time, will open doors for you. On the other hand, a fixed mindset, the belief that you can't change or grow, will keep you stuck. The way you think is everything. If you keep telling yourself you can't, then you won't. But if you start believing that you can learn, grow, and overcome challenges, you will. Imagine your mind as a garden. Whatever seeds you plant today, whether positive or negative thoughts, will grow into your reality tomorrow. If you plant doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs, that's what will bloom in your life. But if you plant confidence, growth, and possibility, you'll begin to see the fruits of that mindset in your life. The good news is that you have the power to change your thoughts. Start by using positive affirmations and visualize yourself achieving your goals. Replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. It's not about being perfect. It's about making the shift toward growth step by step. Every day is an opportunity to reset your mindset and shift towards the future you want. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and success. Motivation can come and go, but discipline is what keeps you going, even when motivation fades. It's easy to get fired up in the beginning, but the true test of success is what you do when the excitement wears off. Discipline is the muscle that gets you through the hard days, the days when you don't feel like showing up but you do anyway. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up day after day and doing the work. Look at athletes, successful entrepreneurs, or anyone who has achieved greatness. They all have one thing in common: discipline. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They have systems in place that ensure they take action no matter how they feel. This is what separates those who achieve from those who don't. It's not about working harder than everyone else. It's about showing up consistently and making the right choices every day. How can you expect to achieve big things if you don't show up every day? Discipline is the key. The next time you don't feel like working on your goal, remember that success is built on those small, disciplined actions. You can't skip the work and still expect the results. Action is the missing ingredient in most people's pursuit of success. You can think about it, plan it, dream about it, but without action, it's all just a fantasy. Ideas are great, but they don't mean anything if they're not followed by action. Too many people spend their lives planning and overthinking. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. But here's the truth: perfect conditions don't exist. If you keep waiting for them, you'll never move forward. Without action, ideas are just dreams. Action turns those dreams into reality. Your future won't create itself. It's up to you to take the steps today. Whether it's a small step or a big one, just move. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, the next one becomes easier. Stop overthinking. Start doing. Your future is created by the actions you take today, not the ones you think about tomorrow. Your future is created by the choices you make today. Every decision, no matter how small, adds up over time. Your life is like a blank canvas. What you choose to paint on it today shapes everything that comes next. The future you want is being built by what you do in the present. You can't wait for tomorrow to start making the right choices. The time is now. So what future are you choosing to create? Every small action today is a choice that will determine where you end up. Will you keep making the same choices that lead to the same results, or will you take a different path? Your future is in your hands, and it starts with what you decide today. Take one action today that moves you toward the future you want. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make today count. Recap the power of today's choices, habits, mindset, and discipline. Your future is not something that will just happen to you. It's something you're creating right now. It starts with the choices you make, the habits you build, the mindset you adopt, and the discipline you cultivate. The key to lasting transformation is starting right now. Stop waiting for the perfect time, because it will never come. Your future is in your hands, and it starts today. You have the power to change your life by taking control right now. The future you desire is waiting for you to take that first step. Don't let this moment slip by. Make today the day you start building the future you've always wanted. How many times have you found yourself waiting for the perfect moment to take action? Waiting for things to change, waiting for motivation, or waiting for the stars to align? Here's the truth: there's no perfect time. Your future isn't some distant event you have no control over. It's happening right now. The actions you take today, the choices you make in this very moment, are what will shape everything that comes next. This isn't about some vague idea of motivation. It's about creating real, lasting change. Today is where your transformation begins. You have the power to shape the future with the decisions you make now. If you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure of where to start, this message is for you. Let me show you why today, right now, holds the key to unlocking the life you've always imagined. Stick with me, because what you're about to hear will change how you approach every single day. You've probably heard someone say, just wait for the right moment. But let me tell you something: that moment is now. There is no perfect time waiting around the corner. The truth is, the present moment is all you can control. Think about it. When you look back at your life, it wasn't those big, distant moments that changed everything. It was the small, seemingly insignificant decisions you made along the way. Right now, in this very second, you hold the power to decide what happens next. Far too many people fall into the trap of believing that their future will be dictated by some magical event or some turn of fate. But let me tell you something: your future is built from the bricks you lay today. That's right, every choice, no matter how small, matters. If you keep waiting for things to change before you take action, you'll only keep waiting and staying stuck. Look at people who have achieved greatness. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They made the decision to act, and they made it today. Whether it was a writer starting their first book, a business owner launching their idea, or someone going after their fitness goals, they all took action in the present. They didn't wait for things to be easier. They took control of their moment, and that made all the difference. Here's the key to changing your life: stop waiting. Focus on today. Focus on what you can control right now, and the future will take care of itself. Start now, and you'll be amazed at what you can build. Do you ever wonder how small actions today can lead to big changes tomorrow? Let me tell you, every single action you take today sends a ripple effect into your future. Those little habits, the decisions you think don't matter, they matter more than you realize. In fact, the compound effect of consistent small actions is the key to shaping the life you want. Let's talk about habits for a second. Every choice you make today is like a small stone dropped in a pond. At first it may seem insignificant, but over time that stone causes ripples that spread far and wide. A small decision to work out today, read for 10 minutes or plan your day, these things add up. They set the tone for your future. It's the small actions that shape who you become. Take the example of someone like Elon Musk. He didn't achieve success in one giant leap. He made countless small decisions every day, decisions to keep going, to improve, to work on his goals relentlessly. It was through his consistent actions that he built companies that have transformed entire industries. What's the lesson here? If you want to change your future, start with the small things today. Those little actions will create waves of change that lead to a future beyond what you can imagine. So what's one small thing you can do today to set the tone for tomorrow? It doesn't have to be huge, just take action. It's these actions that will create the future you desire. How many times have you put off something important, only to find yourself stuck in the same place months or even years later? We've all done it. We put off making the change we know we need to make because it's uncomfortable, because we're unsure, or because we simply believe we'll have more time later. But let me ask you something. What's the cost of waiting? What are you losing by delaying action? Here's the harsh reality. Procrastination isn't just about delaying tasks, it's about delaying your success. Every time you put something off, you're not just delaying the task, you're delaying the future you want. And the longer you wait, the further you get from the person you could be. We all know someone who has spent years talking about their dream but never acting on it. Maybe it's that person who wants to start a business but keeps waiting for the perfect moment, or the person who dreams of getting healthy but always says next week. The reality, they're not moving forward. They're stuck. And this doesn't just apply to big dreams. Procrastination affects every part of our lives. It keeps us stagnant. And before we know it, we've spent years waiting for something to change. But here's the good news, you can break the cycle. Right now, stop waiting. Take the first step today. No matter how small, it's never too late to start. The sooner you begin, the sooner you'll begin to see results. Don't let procrastination steal your future. Break free from it and start moving toward the life you deserve. Habits are the invisible force that shapes your future. What you do every day, no matter how small, is what creates your tomorrow. You may not see the impact of your actions right away, but trust me, they add up. Think of habits like the roots of a tree. The deeper and stronger they grow, the more solid your future will be. Plant good habits today, and you'll grow tall and strong in the future. But if you allow bad habits to take root, they'll stifle your growth and keep you from reaching your full potential. Successful people didn't get where they are by relying on big, dramatic decisions. They got there by mastering their daily habits. Whether it's getting up early, exercising, reading, or working on their goals, they've built routines that set them up for success every day. And you can do the same. Start small. Pick one habit to focus on and commit to it daily. Over time, this habit will become a part of who you are, and it will begin to shape the future you want. If you want to change your life, start by changing your habits. The small things you do every day are what will determine your success. Start now and build the habits that will support the life you want to live. Let me ask you, how do you spend your day? Do you have a plan, or do you just react to whatever comes your way? The truth is, living reactively will never get you where you want to go. You need a routine. A routine is like a map. It guides you to your destination, step by step. The most successful people in the world all have one thing in common. They've mastered their routines. They wake up early, they plan their day, and they stick to a schedule. They don't leave things to chance. They have a plan and they follow it every single day. Think about how much more productive you could be if you had a clear routine. You wouldn't waste time deciding what to do next. You'd be focused, efficient, and on track to reach your goals. This is why routine is so powerful. It removes the guesswork, keeps you disciplined, and ensures that you're always moving forward. So what's your routine? If you don't have one, it's time to create one. Look at the habits that support your goals and make them a part of your daily life. When you do this, you'll find that you're no longer wasting time or energy. You'll be focused and you'll be moving closer to your dreams every single day. Listen to me carefully, your dreams won't become reality without action. It doesn't matter how much you plan, how much you talk about your goals, or how many motivational speeches you listen to. Nothing will happen until you take action. Let me tell you something else. Action doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Waiting for the perfect time or the perfect conditions is a trap. You will never have all the answers. The key is to start, no matter how imperfect your first step is. Because let me ask you this, how can you expect to achieve your dreams if you don't take action every single day? One of the most successful people I know is someone who was terrified of failure but decided to take action anyway. She didn't wait for the perfect moment. She didn't wait for the fear to go away. She just took one step and then another. And over time, those small steps turned into big progress. So here's what I want you to do. Commit to one action today. It doesn't matter how small, take that first step, and from there, take another. Your goals won't become a reality until you start moving toward them. You have the power to shape your future right now. Every decision you make today is a step toward the person you want to become. Your future isn't written by what happens to you, it's written by the choices you make today. Think of your life as a blank page. Every decision you make is like a word written on that page. The story you're creating right now will be the story you live tomorrow. If you're not happy with where you are, stop waiting for things to change. Change them yourself. Stop blaming external circumstances. You have everything you need to make a change right now. So take a moment, reflect on your choices. What's one thing you can do today to move closer to the future you want? Make that change. Take that first step. Because today is where it all begins. The future you've always dreamed of is waiting for you if you take action today. I want to leave you with this. Your future isn't some distant event. It's being created by the choices you make right now. Every decision, every action, every habit, these things are what shape your future. If you want something different, you have to do something different today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the stars to align. Take control, take action, and start building the future you desire right now. So what's your next step? What action will you take today to move closer to your dreams? Your future is in your hands. Take that first step and build the life you've always imagined. The time is now. Do you ever feel like you're stuck in the same cycle, hoping for change but not seeing it? You wake up, go through the motions, and wonder why things aren't shifting. What if I told you the key to change isn't found in some distant future? It's in the habits you create today. The choices you make in the present are what will shape your future. Today I'm here to show you how the habits you form are the building blocks of your success. Whether you're striving to reach a new level of achievement, break free from old patterns, or simply build a life that feels fulfilling, it all begins with the small actions you take every day. Your daily habits are more powerful than you think. They shape your identity, influence your mindset, and directly impact your outcomes. You are the sum of your habits. But this isn't about quick fixes. It's about real, lasting transformation. It's about developing the right habits that will push you toward your goals while breaking the ones that hold you back. Stick with me, because what you're about to learn could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's built day by day through the habits you cultivate. Think of your habits like the roots of a tree. The roots determine how high the tree will grow, how strong it will stand in the face of storms, and how much fruit it will bear. Your habits are the roots of your future. If you're not happy with where you are today, take a look at your habits. They're either pushing you toward your goals or keeping you stuck where you are. You might be asking yourself, but how do habits actually shape my success? The truth is, they influence everything. They dictate your daily choices, your mindset, and your productivity. They impact the way you approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. When you're intentional about the habits you build, you start to see how every small action adds up over time. For example, think about someone who wakes up early every morning, makes their bed, and follows a structured routine. It might seem like a simple act, but it's setting the tone for the rest of their day. These small, intentional actions build discipline, focus, and consistency, qualities that lead to success. In contrast, someone who hits snooze every morning, rushes through their day, and lacks structure will struggle to stay on track. Their habits will keep them running in circles, never gaining real ground. If you want to change your life, it starts with your habits. You can't achieve lasting success without laying a solid foundation. That foundation is built one day at a time through the choices you make in the present moment. Now ask yourself, what habits are you building today that will shape your future success? Take a moment to reflect. The habits you form now are the ones that will carry you forward. Building habits that support your goals doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the best way to build lasting habits is to start small. The science of habit formation shows that tiny, consistent actions are far more powerful than trying to make big, drastic changes all at once. When you decide to build a habit, your brain goes through a process of reinforcement. Every time you repeat an action, your brain forms a connection that makes it easier to repeat it the next time. This is why small, repeated actions become habits over time. The key is to align your habits with your goals. You don't need to overhaul your entire life at once. Just pick one small, clear action that aligns with your vision and commit to it daily. For example, an entrepreneur who wants to grow their business might start by setting aside just 30 minutes every morning to focus on their most important task. A student aiming for better grades might set aside an hour each day to study with no distractions. These daily habits, though small, compound over time. The result? Major progress toward your goals. One powerful way to build habits that align with your goals is to craft a simple plan. Start by identifying the habits that are already helping you move forward. Then choose one new habit that can complement and enhance your existing routine. Perhaps it's waking up 15 minutes earlier to plan your day, or spending 10 minutes visualizing your future success. Whatever it is, make sure it aligns with your bigger vision and values. Building habits is like sculpting a masterpiece. Every small action, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is shaping the person you're becoming. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. You're crafting your future one small decision at a time. If habits are the foundation of success, then bad habits are the obstacles that keep you from reaching your full potential. We all have them. Those actions, behaviors, or mindsets that hold us back. But here's the thing. Bad habits don't just make life harder. They prevent you from becoming the person you want to be. Think about the bad habits you're holding on to. Is it procrastination, a negative mindset, constantly putting off important tasks? Whatever it is, ask yourself, how is this bad habit affecting my life? How is it keeping me stuck in the same place? What's the cost of not letting go of this habit? Let me tell you something. The cost of holding on to a bad habit is enormous. Every day you keep going with that habit, you lose valuable time, energy, and opportunities. You're building the wrong foundation, one that will never get you closer to where you want to go. Breaking a bad habit isn't easy. It requires awareness, commitment, and patience. Start by identifying the triggers that cause you to fall into that habit. Are you bored, stressed, overwhelmed? Once you identify the trigger, replace the bad habit with something positive. It doesn't have to be a big change. It can be something simple, like taking a walk when you feel the urge to procrastinate, or practicing gratitude when negative thoughts creep in. The key to breaking a bad habit is consistency. It won't happen overnight, but over time, you can replace the negative with the positive. The choice is yours. Do you want to stay stuck in the cycle of bad habits? Or are you ready to take control and break free? When it comes to building habits, there's one thing that matters more than anything else: consistency. It's the magic ingredient that turns small actions into big results. Success doesn't happen in a moment. It happens because you show up every day, doing the work, taking the actions, and making progress, no matter how small it might seem. Think about someone who wants to get in shape. They don't run a marathon after one workout. They start small, showing up every day, and over time their body changes. The same goes for success in any area of life. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about consistently doing the right things, day in and day out. If you want to achieve something significant, ask yourself, what can I do every day that will move me toward my goal? What's one small habit I can show up for consistently? It doesn't have to be perfect, just show up. Progress will follow. Let me share a story of someone who succeeded through consistency. Take Thomas Edison, for example. His famous quote, "Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration," speaks to the power of consistent effort. Edison didn't invent the light bulb in one go. He failed thousands of times before he succeeded, but he showed up every day, learned from his mistakes, and kept moving forward. Consistency is what led to his breakthrough. If you can commit to showing up every day, no matter how tough it gets, you'll eventually see the results. Consistency is your key to lasting success. Here's an actionable step you can take today to kickstart the transformation: the 30-Day Habit Tracker Challenge. This challenge will help you build one positive habit, or break a bad habit, in 30 days. Why 30 days? Because that's the perfect amount of time to make a lasting change. Tracking your habits holds you accountable. It's like a mirror that shows you where you've been, and how far you've come. Every day you track your progress, you're reinforcing that habit, making it easier to stick with it long term. To get started, choose one habit you want to focus on. It could be something as simple as drinking more water, reading for 10 minutes a day, or making your bed every morning. Once you've chosen your habit, commit to doing it every day for the next 30 days. Use a habit tracker or a simple calendar to mark off each day you complete the habit. This small action will help you build consistency and hold you accountable. If you stick with it for 30 days, you'll see the difference. The habit will be easier, more automatic, and much more ingrained in your daily routine. And once you've mastered that habit, you can take on another one. Remember, your future is built on the habits you create today. The 30-Day Challenge is your first step toward a transformed future. Commit to it now. Have you ever felt that nagging voice in your head telling you you're not good enough? That doubt that holds you back, telling you that you're not capable of achieving what you dream of? What if I told you that self-doubt is the #1 thing standing between you and the life you want? We've all been there, stuck, unsure, afraid to take that first step. But here's the truth: self-doubt doesn't have to control you. It doesn't define you, and it certainly doesn't determine your future. The first step toward any kind of success is believing in yourself, even when you're not sure you can. I'm here today to help you confront your fears and show you how to turn those doubts into the driving force that propels you toward your goals. You have everything you need to succeed within you, but it's time to believe it. Stick with me, and I'll share the tools you need to break free from self-doubt and build the confidence you need to take action. This isn't just about motivational words. This is about taking real steps toward your dreams, starting today. Self-doubt. It's like a silent thief that creeps into your mind, stealing your confidence, your dreams, your belief in yourself. Let me tell you something, self-doubt is the killer of progress. It's the thing that stops us from trying new things, reaching higher, or even starting in the first place. We've all been there. You doubt yourself, you hesitate, and before you know it, that dream or goal is out of reach. But let me be clear, you cannot move forward without first believing in yourself. Belief is the foundation of everything. Without belief, you're building on quicksand. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant today, your future will grow. If you're planting seeds of doubt, that's all you'll harvest. Doubt and missed opportunities. But if you begin planting seeds of confidence and belief, that's what will grow. Belief in yourself doesn't just happen overnight, it takes work. It's about shifting your mindset and learning to trust in your abilities. I know it's not always easy. It's easier to play it safe and let the fear of failure dictate your decisions. But here's the thing, real success starts with the belief that you're worthy of it. It's about recognizing that you are capable, that you are enough, and that you have everything inside you to create the life you want. Let's talk about real people who face self-doubt head-on. Take someone like Thomas Edison. He faced countless failures and was told time and again that his ideas were crazy. But what did he do? He believed in himself and his vision. And today, we know him as the inventor of the light bulb. That belief in himself and his abilities led him to change the world. And you have that same power within you. So, what's holding you back? What beliefs are keeping you from stepping into your power? Start today. Identify the thoughts that make you question yourself and replace them with empowering ones. Remind yourself you are capable, you are worthy, and you have the ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. Fear. It's that feeling that rises up in your chest whenever you're about to do something new or difficult. The kind of fear that tells you to stop, to turn back, to play it safe. Here's the thing, fear is not the enemy. In fact, fear is a sign that you're on the right path. Fear is a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and that growth is happening. Think about it. Every single time you've faced fear, you've had the opportunity to grow. Every time you've stepped into the unknown, you've learned something new about yourself. Fear is not something to avoid. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. And the more you face it, the easier it becomes to push through. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. She faced fear and rejection over and over again. She was told she wasn't good enough for TV, that her appearance was a liability, and that she'd never make it in the media world. But Oprah didn't let fear stop her. She used it to fuel her fire, and today she's one of the most influential media moguls in the world. What would have happened if she'd let fear control her? She wouldn't have had the impact she has today. So when you feel fear rising up, don't run from it. Embrace it. Understand that it's a sign you're growing, and that's something to be excited about. Fear means you're moving in the right direction. The next time fear shows up, welcome it. See it for what it really is, a signal that you're on the brink of something incredible. Here's the truth. Fear never truly goes away. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that they stop being afraid, it's that they take action despite the fear. Let me ask you a question. What would you do if you weren't afraid? What risks would you take? What dreams would you chase? The link between action and confidence is undeniable. You don't wait until you feel confident to act, you act, and that's what builds your confidence. It's like pushing a car that's stuck in the mud. At first it's hard to move, but once you start, you gain momentum. The more you push, the easier it gets. Small actions, even if they're scary, lead to big results. Think about Elon Musk. He had his fair share of doubts and fears, especially in the early days of SpaceX. He was terrified of failure, but he kept going. Every small step, every risk he took, built his confidence and pushed him closer to his vision. And look at him now, one of the most successful entrepreneurs of our time. So what's the one thing you're afraid of doing today? The one step you can take that scares you, but would bring you closer to your goal. Start small, but start today. The more you act, the more you'll break down those walls of fear, one step at a time. Failure. It's a word that scares most of us. But let me tell you something. Failure isn't the end. In fact, failure is often the beginning of something much greater. Every setback, every mistake, offers you a valuable lesson. It's only failure if you give up. The truth is, the most successful people aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who took their failures and used them as stepping stones. Michael Jordan is a perfect example. He was cut from his high school basketball team, and many would have seen that as the end of the road, but he didn't quit. He used that setback as fuel, and today he's widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time. So when you face setbacks, don't see them as roadblocks. See them as lessons. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to get better, stronger, and more prepared for the future? Every mistake is a chance to grow, and every failure is a chance to come back stronger. Fear is like the wind. It might slow you down, but it can't stop you unless you stop moving. The key to overcoming fear is to keep moving, even if it's just one small step at a time. Start with one small action. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been avoiding, signing up for that class, or speaking up in a meeting. It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be a step forward. And here's the thing. Every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. It pushes you past your fear and closer to your goals. The most successful people didn't wait for fear to disappear. They acted anyway. They took one small step and then another. And with each step, fear became smaller and confidence grew. So commit to taking one small step today, and tomorrow take another. Keep moving and you'll see how far you can go. By following these steps, you'll build confidence, face your fears, and break through every barrier standing between you and your dreams. Let's get started today. Are you ready to change the way you see the world, and more importantly, yourself? Your mindset is the lens through which you experience life. If you're feeling stuck, frustrated, or unsure of where to go next, it's time to take a hard look at how you're thinking. A shift in mindset can turn your entire life around. You have the power to shape your reality, but it all starts with changing how you think. In this section, we'll uncover the secrets to developing a mindset that fuels your success, and how small shifts in thinking can create massive results. It's not about positive thinking for the sake of optimism. It's about cultivating a mindset that helps you see opportunities, tackle challenges, and take action toward your goals. Are you ready to transform your thinking and start building the future you deserve? Stick with me, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. The mindset shift you make today could be the key to unlocking your greatest potential. Your mindset is everything. It is the foundation of your success, the lens through which you see the world. You can't expect to change your life until you change the way you think. Your thoughts control your actions, and your actions create your outcomes. So what kind of mindset do you have? A fixed mindset or a growth mindset? Let me tell you something. A fixed mindset believes that your abilities and intelligence are set in stone. You're either good at something or you're not. And if you fail, that's just who you are. You avoid challenges because you don't want to fail. A growth mindset, on the other hand, understands that failure is a part of learning. It's a sign that you're growing, that you're stretching yourself towards something greater. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges. They see failure as a lesson, not a defeat. Think about Michael Jordan. The man is a legend, but he wasn't always destined for greatness. In high school, he was cut from the basketball team. Can you imagine the pain? Can you imagine the self-doubt? But he didn't let that moment define him. He chose to believe that failure was a stepping stone. He worked harder, practiced longer, and ultimately became the greatest of all time. His mindset was the key. Now I want you to look at your own life. What's been holding you back? The answer lies in your mindset. If you believe you can't, you won't. If you believe you can, then nothing will stop you. The first step to success is recognizing the limiting beliefs you hold and replacing them with empowering ones. So what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about your potential? Here's your actionable insight. Take a moment and reflect. What beliefs are holding you back? What thoughts do you need to replace with empowering ones? Start today. Start now. Your mindset shapes your reality. If you want to change your life, change the way you think. There's a common misconception about positive thinking. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. No, positive thinking is about reframing challenges as opportunities. It's about training your mind to see solutions, not just problems. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Positive thinking fuels action. It gives you the motivation to keep going when things get tough. Think about it. If you believe something is possible, you're much more likely to take the actions necessary to make it happen. But if you believe it's impossible, how can you expect to try? You won't. You'll hold yourself back before you even get started. This is where the power of your mindset comes in. When you think positively, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel good, that make you want to act. These feelings of motivation drive your behavior. This isn't just fluffy talk, it's backed by science. Studies have shown that a positive mindset increases your chances of success, boosts your performance, and helps you overcome challenges more effectively. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She faced countless rejections, insults, and struggles throughout her career. She was told she wasn't good enough. She didn't fit the mold, that she'd never succeed. But Oprah didn't let those words stop her. She chose to believe in her vision, and because of that mindset, she turned those challenges into opportunities. Today, she's one of the most successful women in the world. I want you to reflect on your own mindset. Do you see challenges as roadblocks or stepping stones? When you encounter obstacles, do you get discouraged or do you look for ways to overcome them? Here's your actionable insight. Start each day with a positive affirmation. Speak it out loud and believe it with everything you've got. It can be as simple as I am capable of achieving my goals. By committing to positive thinking, you will automatically take positive actions. And with every action, you'll build momentum, confidence, and success. Your mind is powerful. The thoughts you have shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. But here's the thing, your thoughts are not always going to be positive. You will have negative thoughts. We all do. The question is, how do you handle them? Do you let them control you, or do you reframe them? Let me tell you something. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will grow, whether that's negativity or positivity. You can plant seeds of doubt and fear, or you can plant seeds of confidence and belief. The choice is yours. Reframing negative thoughts is a skill that can be learned. When a negative thought enters your mind, recognize it. Don't let it control you. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought true? What evidence do I have that this is true? Often you'll find that the negative thought is based on fear, not fact. Once you recognize this, replace it with a positive thought, a growth-focused thought. Take a moment and think about the last time you doubted yourself. What did you say to yourself? Did you say, I'm not good enough, or this is too hard? Now think about what you could have said instead. Maybe something like, I'm learning, I may not be there yet, but I will be. The more you practice this, the easier it gets. Eventually, your mind will start to automatically challenge negative thoughts, and over time, you'll see a shift. Your mind will become a powerful ally, not an enemy. Here's your actionable insight. Pick one negative thought you've been holding on to and reframe it. Challenge it. Replace it with a positive, action-oriented belief. Make this a daily habit. With each day, your mind will become more focused, more positive, and more aligned with your goals. Challenges are a part of life. There's no way around it. But here's the key. Challenges are not something to avoid. They are opportunities to grow. The way you view challenges will determine your ability to overcome them. When faced with a challenge, most people see it as a roadblock. They see it as something to fear, something that will set them back. But what if you changed that perspective? What if you saw challenges as opportunities to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? What if you saw them as a chance to level up in life? Steve Jobs faced challenge after challenge. He was fired from the company he founded, Apple. Can you imagine the heartbreak? But he didn't let that stop him. He embraced the challenge and used it as fuel to create the most innovative products the world has ever seen. If he had given up, where would Apple be today? Where would technology be? J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection. She was a struggling single mother and no one believed in her story. But she didn't let those challenges define her. She pushed through, and today Harry Potter is a global phenomenon. The next time you face a challenge, stop for a moment and ask yourself, what opportunity does this challenge present? What can I learn from it? How can I use this to grow? Here's your actionable insight. Identify a current challenge in your life and reframe it as an opportunity. See it for what it is, a chance to grow, learn, and move forward. Embrace the discomfort. Embrace the challenge. Because on the other side, you'll be stronger than ever. One of the most powerful tools for shifting your mindset is journaling. Writing down your thoughts helps you gain clarity, reflect on your progress, and reframe your perspective. Journaling allows you to track your growth and spot areas where you might be holding yourself back. But how do you get started? It's simple. Every day, write down your thoughts. Start by reflecting on your day, what went well, what didn't, and what you can learn from both. Write about your challenges and how you can turn them into opportunities. Use your journal as a tool to affirm your growth mindset. Write down your goals and break them into small, actionable steps. As you do this, you'll start to see your mindset shift. You'll focus more on solutions and less on problems. The key is consistency. Make journaling a daily habit. Start small, just a few minutes a day. Over time, you'll notice a shift in your thinking. Your thoughts will become more positive, more solution-focused, and more aligned with your goals. Here's your actionable insight. Commit to journaling every day for the next 30 days. Track your progress, reflect on your setbacks, and use your journal to reinforce your growth mindset. Watch as your mindset transforms, and your reality starts to shift. Do you ever find yourself feeling stuck, watching your dreams drift further out of reach no matter how hard you push? Maybe you've had moments where motivation sparks, but it's fleeting. Before you know it, you're back where you started, unsure of how to make progress. Let me be honest with you. Motivation won't get you there. Discipline will. Discipline is the key that turns your dreams into tangible results. It's the steady, consistent action taken day after day that brings success, not the bursts of energy or inspiration that fade away. If you want to stop wishing for change and start creating it, you need to understand this fundamental truth. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's time to stop waiting for motivation to show up and start building the habits and routines that will carry you to success. In this section, we're going to explore how discipline transforms goals into reality and how you can harness it to create the life you've always wanted. Ready to build the foundation for your future? Let's get to work. Every goal you set, no matter how big or small, requires discipline to turn it from an idea into a reality. Think of discipline as the bridge that connects your ambitions to your achievements. Without it, your dreams remain in the realm of someday instead of becoming part of your actual life. The truth is, setting goals is easy. We've all written down what we want to achieve at some point in our lives. But how many of us have struggled to follow through? It's not the goals that trip us up, it's the lack of discipline. Discipline is the consistent action we take to keep moving forward, even when we don't feel like it. It's the power to keep going when obstacles appear, when doubts creep in, and when we're tempted to give up. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're building a house. The blueprint is your goal. The tools and materials are your resources. But if you don't show up every day to lay each brick, that house will never be built. Discipline is the worker, the one who commits to doing the work even when it feels hard or tiring. And over time, those small actions compound into a solid structure, your success. Consider the journey of someone like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. It wasn't his genius that made him successful. It was his relentless discipline to keep experimenting, to never stop trying. That same discipline is available to you. It's the bridge you need to cross to turn your goals into success. So what's your bridge? Identify one long-term goal that you've been putting off or struggling to achieve. Break it down into smaller, manageable steps, and commit to working on it consistently. Don't wait for motivation to hit you. Discipline will carry you forward even when the motivation isn't there. Here's a truth that might sting: motivation alone won't carry you to success. It's like trying to drive a car on empty. Motivation is fuel, but it runs out fast. The real power lies in consistency, in showing up every day whether you're feeling it or not. Discipline is built through small daily actions, repeated over time. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to get started. It's about making a commitment to yourself and sticking to it, regardless of how you feel. Think about someone like Michael Jordan. He wasn't the best because he relied on bursts of motivation. He was the best because he practiced relentlessly, every single day. He didn't wait for the right day or the perfect mood. He just did the work, day in and day out. That is discipline. Now think about your own life. How many times have you let distractions or your mood take you off course? How many goals have you abandoned because you didn't feel like it, or because you got sidetracked? Let me tell you something. If you're waiting for motivation to show up before you start, you'll never get anything done. It's the small, consistent actions that create results. So here's your actionable step. Pick one task, just one, that you will commit to doing every day, no matter how you feel. It could be something as simple as writing for 15 minutes, making your bed each morning, or going for a walk. Start small but be consistent. That's how discipline is built. Let's face it, staying disciplined is hard. We live in a world full of distractions, temptations, and instant gratification. It's easy to lose focus when we're surrounded by so many things vying for our attention. And when we hit a roadblock or face resistance, it's tempting to give up and give in to the easier path. One of the biggest struggles with discipline is that we often let short-term distractions derail our long-term goals. How many times have you let yourself scroll through social media or watch another episode of a show when you know you should be working? It's all too easy to fall into these traps. But here's the kicker. If you don't take control of these distractions, they will control you. Every time you choose the temporary pleasure over long-term success, you're reinforcing a habit of giving up. Over time, these small decisions add up, and before you know it, your goals are slipping further away. So what can you do to break this cycle? Start by identifying your top distractions. What takes you off course? Is it your phone? Is it people? Is it your own doubts? Once you identify them, put strategies in place to limit their power. Turn off notifications, set boundaries, and create routines that keep you focused on your priorities. Discipline doesn't come easy, but the more you recognize what pulls you away from your goals and take action to minimize it, the easier it becomes to stay on track. You don't need to make giant leaps to make progress. In fact, trying to do everything at once can overwhelm you and leave you burnt out. Instead, focus on small wins, those tiny disciplined actions that add up over time. Think about it this way. If you focus on making just 1% improvement every day, you'll be 365% better by the end of the year. Small, consistent actions build momentum and lead to massive results. It's like planting a seed and watering it every day. At first, you don't see much, but if you keep at it, you'll eventually see a beautiful tree grow. Here's what you need to do. What small disciplined action can you commit to today? Maybe it's writing a few paragraphs of your book, working out for 15 minutes, or saving a small amount of money each week. These small wins, when stacked on top of each other, will create the success you're looking for. Remember, it's not about doing everything all at once. It's about showing up and doing something consistently. That's the power of discipline. One of the best ways to build discipline is by making one task non-negotiable. It could be something as simple as exercising every day or writing for 30 minutes each morning. By choosing just one task to focus on, you create a foundation of discipline that carries over into other areas of your life. The beauty of making one thing non-negotiable is that it builds self-trust. Every time you complete that task, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you can be disciplined. Over time, this creates a snowball effect, and soon you'll find it easier to build discipline in other areas. So what's your non-negotiable task? Identify it, write it down, and make a commitment to it today. No excuses, no distractions, just discipline. Remember, it's the small daily actions that build the momentum you need. Start with one task, and soon you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made. Are you stuck in the cycle of thinking, wishing, and dreaming but never taking action? It's frustrating, isn't it? You set goals, you imagine success, but each day passes without any real progress. Here's the truth. Action is the only thing that can change your life. Without it, your dreams remain nothing more than fantasies. In this section, we're diving deep into the power of action, the key that unlocks all the doors to your success. Taking action, no matter how small, is the foundation of every transformation. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or for motivation to strike. It's about doing something every single day that pushes you forward. The good news, you don't have to do it all at once. Each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to where you want to be. Get ready to take control, step out of your comfort zone, and turn those ideas into reality. What you do today will set the stage for your future success. Let's make it count.
Let me tell you something. Without action, ideas are just dreams. That's it. Nothing more. No matter how big your goals, how bright your vision, if you don't take action, they'll stay locked inside your mind. But when you begin to take action, even if it's small, things start to shift. That's the key to everything. You have to start. You have to move. No one wakes up and is suddenly successful. No one's life is completely transformed by just a single sudden decision. Real change is built on small, consistent steps. The moment you take action, you start turning those thoughts into reality. You stop wishing and start doing. Sure, the first step is the hardest. It's easy to stay stuck in the idea phase, to stay comfortable in your plans and dreams. But let me tell you, nothing happens unless you make it happen. Action is the muscle that makes everything else grow. Without it, you're just wasting your time in a dream world. Here's the thing, if you're waiting for the perfect moment to take action, you're going to be waiting forever. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's about making the decision now to do something, no matter how small. Action doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be taken. What's the one thing you could do right now to begin the process of change? It's simpler than you think. Pick something small. Take a step. That's where momentum begins. It's that first step that unlocks the next and the next and the next. If you keep waiting for the right time, you'll only stay stuck. But if you act now, you will build the foundation for success. Action, no matter how small, is the only true path forward. So what will your first step be? Every success story starts with action. It's easy to look at people who've achieved greatness and think, they must have it all figured out. But here's the truth. They were once exactly where you are now, dreaming, planning, and thinking about what could be. But the difference? They took that first step, and then they took the next, and the next. Let's talk about momentum. When you take action, no matter how small, you start building that momentum. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, almost insignificant. But the more you do, the bigger it gets. The more momentum you build, the more it pushes you forward, making the next step easier and the next one after that even easier. You've heard of people who started with nothing, right? Think of someone like Jeff Bezos. When he started Amazon, he was selling books out of his garage. That was a small action, a tiny step. But every single day he took action. Slowly but surely, those small steps built a massive empire, and it didn't happen overnight. It was through years of steady, consistent action that his dream transformed into reality. How will your life change if you begin acting on your ideas today? I'm not talking about some big dramatic gesture. I'm talking about a small action. Write that first sentence. Make that phone call. Do that thing you've been putting off for days, weeks, or months. It's easy to let your dreams remain just that, dreams, but you have to take action to make them real. It's that simple. When you take that first step, it's no longer a dream. It's the beginning of your new reality. Take action today. What's one thing you can do right now? It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. The time is now. How often have you let fear of failure hold you back? It's the most natural thing in the world to be afraid of failing. But here's the harsh truth. Failure is not the end. Failure is simply the soil where success grows. Every time you fall short, you learn, you improve, you grow. And that's what success is built on.
Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Do you think he let failure stop him? No, he kept moving forward. Each failure taught him something valuable. Each mistake was a lesson that took him one step closer to success. Edison didn't wait for everything to be perfect before he acted. He simply took action again and again and used every failure as a stepping stone. Let me ask you this. How often have you let fear prevent you from taking action? How many times have you stayed comfortable, not wanting to risk the chance of failing? The truth is, failure isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. When you take action, there will be setbacks. There will be challenges. But if you let fear stop you, then you're already defeated. If you want to succeed, you have to keep moving, even when fear tries to stop you. Don't let the possibility of failure paralyze you. Let failure be your teacher, not your enemy. So what's the worst that can happen if you fail? The worst is that you get back up, learn something valuable, and keep going. Success doesn't come from avoiding failure, it comes from continuing to take action despite it. Are you ready to let go of your fear and take action? The choice is yours. Let's talk about consistency. This is the secret that most people miss. It's not the big, dramatic actions that lead to success. It's the small, consistent ones. Mastery is built over time, through repeated action, not through sudden bursts of effort. Think about athletes. They don't become great overnight. Michael Jordan didn't win championships by practicing once a week. He practiced every day for hours at a time. His success wasn't built on talent alone. It was built on consistent action. He didn't stop after the first failure. He kept pushing. He kept improving day after day. And that's what made him great. So what's the one thing you've been avoiding? The task that you know will move you forward, but that you just keep putting off. It's time to take consistent action on it. Maybe it's that project you've been meaning to start. Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's reading more. Whatever it is, consistency is what will get you there. Think about it. What if you made one small action a part of your daily routine? What if you committed to taking that action every single day for the next month? Imagine where you could be by the end of that month. You wouldn't even recognize your progress. So let me ask you again, what's the one action you've been avoiding that could make all the difference? The answer is simple. Take action. Keep taking action. And soon you'll look back and realize that consistent effort is what led you to mastery. Here's a challenge for you, a 30-day challenge. I want you to pick one goal, no matter how big or small, and take consistent action toward it for the next 30 days. Here's how you're going to do it. Break that big goal down into smaller, manageable tasks. Every single day, commit to doing one of those tasks, even if it's only for 15 minutes. Consistency is the key. It's not about how much you do in one day. It's about showing up every day, taking that action, and moving forward. Ask yourself, what's the one thing you've been putting off? The one task that seems too overwhelming. Break it down into small pieces and start doing it every day. Hold yourself accountable. Track your progress. After 30 days, I promise you, you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made. Are you ready to take on the 30-day challenge? Are you ready to commit to consistent action? Your future starts today with what you choose to do right now. Let's get started. Your success is waiting. Are you standing on the edge of change, wondering if today is the day you take the first step? The truth is, your future is not some distant dream. It starts right now. Each decision you make today is shaping who you will become tomorrow. So what's holding you back? What's keeping you from stepping into your potential and creating the life you've always wanted? It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start building the future you desire, one small action at a time. We often wait for the right time, but here's the truth. The right time is always now. It's not about waiting for things to line up perfectly. It's about taking the first step and trusting that the rest will follow. Your future is in your hands, and everything you need to create the life you want is already inside of you. Are you ready to break through those barriers of self-doubt, hesitation, and fear? Let's make today the start of something extraordinary. Your time is now. Let's begin. Take a moment and think about what's possible for you. Really think about it. Your future is like a blank canvas. It's wide open. What will you paint on it today? Right now, you have the power to create something incredible, something beyond your current situation. Every single decision you make has the potential to shape the direction of your life. But it all starts with action. The key to unlocking the future you dream about lies in the choices you make today. What could your life look like in a year if you began taking action today? Imagine your health, your career, your relationships, your mindset. Everything can transform in just 1 year if you choose to start now. Picture yourself standing in a new reality, one where you've taken those steps toward your goals. What does that life look like? How does it feel? What's different about the person you've become? Now ask yourself, what's stopping you from making that picture a reality? What's the first step you can take right now to move toward it? Remember, no dream is too big, and no action is too small. The possibilities are endless, but only if you take that first step. Don't let the fear of the unknown hold you back. Your future is waiting, and it's full of possibilities. The question is, will you take action to unlock it? Let's get real for a moment. What's stopping you from taking action right now? Why are you still waiting, still hesitating, still putting things off? It's easy to stay comfortable, isn't it? We all know that. But here's the thing, comfort won't get you anywhere. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Staying where you are, avoiding action, doesn't lead to progress. It just keeps you stuck in a cycle of wishing and dreaming, but never doing. So what are the real reasons you're holding back? Is it fear of failure? Fear of rejection? Or maybe it's the fear of what people might think? Let me tell you something. Those fears are natural. They don't make you weak. They make you human. But what matters is what you choose to do in the face of those fears. Will you let them control you, or will you step up and push past them? Ask yourself what's more important, staying comfortable or growing toward your potential. What's more important, letting fear keep you stuck, or letting action create the life you've always wanted? It's time to confront these fears head on. Write down what's holding you back. Whether it's fear of failure, self-doubt, or the fear of the unknown, recognize it, and then create a plan to move through it. You don't have to overcome everything at once, but you do have to start. What's the one small step you can take today to overcome your hesitation? What's one action you can take right now to break free from whatever is holding you back? Your future is on the other side of this fear, and you have the power to walk through it. Success is not a lucky accident, it's a choice. And that choice requires commitment. You can dream about success, you can visualize your goals, and you can plan all you want, but without commitment to taking action, none of it matters. Action is what turns your dreams into reality. It's what takes you from wishing to living. Without commitment, your goals will always remain just that, goals. But with it, you'll begin to see progress, even if it's just one small step at a time. Let me ask you this, what's one thing you can commit to today that will take you one step closer to your goal? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because here's the hard truth. If you don't commit now, you're choosing to stay where you are. And that's fine, if you're okay with not growing, not moving forward. But if you want something more, something greater, you have to choose to act. You have to choose to be committed to the process, to the journey, no matter how tough it gets. Commitment isn't about having everything figured out. It's about taking the first step and trusting that the next one will appear. So what are you waiting for? Take that first step today and make a commitment to your future. It may not be perfect, but it's progress, and that's what matters. Now let's cut through the noise. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Today is the day to make progress. What's the one thing you've been putting off? The one action that you know will move you closer to your dream. What's stopping you from doing it right now? Time waits for no one. It's easy to think that you have all the time in the world, but the truth is, tomorrow isn't promised. The only moment you have control over is now. This moment, right here. So let me ask you again, what's the one thing you've been putting off that can move you closer to your dreams? Is it a phone call? Writing that first page? Taking that first step in the gym? It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you do it. The key is to get started, no matter how small the action. Once you take that first step, you'll create momentum, and the rest will follow. Here's the deal. If you want to change your life, you have to take action. Not next week, not tomorrow, today. Don't wait for the perfect time. There's no such thing. The time is now. Take that first step and let it be the beginning of something amazing. What you do today will shape your future. So make it count. Make it happen. Step into your potential, and let's create the life you are meant to live. The time is now. Are you ready to act? The future you've always dreamed of isn't some far-off possibility. It starts right now. You don't need to wait for the perfect time, the right moment, or the ideal circumstances. You already have everything you need to take action and begin shaping your future today. Every choice you make, every small action you take, brings you closer to the person you want to become and the life you want to live. This isn't just about hoping for change. It's about making that change happen. You hold the power to take control of your destiny, but it starts with the choices you make in this very moment. In this section, we're going to break down how you can use today, right now, as the foundation for everything that comes next. The future isn't a distant dream. It's being built by the decisions you make now. So ask yourself, what can you do today that will set you on the path to becoming who you're meant to be? Let's dive into the power of today and how this moment can be the beginning of your greatest transformation. Let's talk about the present moment. Too often we spend so much time thinking about the future, planning for what's next, or wishing we could change the past, that we forget that the only real power we have is in the now. Right now. This moment is the only time we truly control. It's the only time we can make decisions that will shape our future. The present moment is where transformation begins. It's where you choose the habits that will push you forward or hold you back. It's where you decide if you're going to show up for yourself or keep making excuses. Every successful person you admire made a decision to change right here, right now. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They started with one small action, one mindset shift, and they kept going. So what can you do today? What is one small habit you can focus on right now to move toward your goals? It could be something as simple as waking up 30 minutes earlier to work on yourself, reading a chapter from a book that inspires you, or starting the task you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, make today the day you start building the habits and mindset that will carry you toward your future. The choices you make today will compound over time. You are building your future right now, step by step. So ask yourself, what small action, what change in mindset can you make today that will propel you forward? Today is the beginning of everything you want to achieve. Don't let this moment slip away. Think about this for a moment. What would your life look like if you took full control starting right now? What if you didn't wait any longer to make the changes you've been dreaming about? What would your life be like if you took full ownership of your future today? You have that power right now. Today, you are the one who decides what your future looks like. Every choice, no matter how small, has the potential to transform your life. Your future is not in the hands of chance, luck, or other people. It's in your hands. Every step you take today is one step closer to the life you want to live. But it all starts with you. Don't wait for someone else to make the first move. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. If you keep waiting for things to fall into place, you'll be waiting forever. But if you take charge right now, today, everything will begin to change. The person you want to become, the goals you want to achieve, they are all possible. They are all right there within your reach. But it's up to you to take that first step. So get excited. This is your moment. You are the one who holds the key to your future. Start today. Take control. The life you want is waiting for you to step into it. Let me tell you something. The perfect moment is a myth. If you're waiting for things to line up perfectly, you'll be waiting forever. Today is the only moment you truly have to make a change. And right now, you have the chance to decide how your future will unfold. So stop waiting. Don't put off until tomorrow. What can be done today? Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'll start next week," or "I'll wait for the right time"? We've all done it. But here's the truth. That right moment may never come. You can keep waiting, but all you're really doing is delaying your future. The perfect conditions, they don't exist. What you're waiting for is an illusion. Today is the only day that matters. The actions you take right now are the ones that will build the future you've been dreaming of. Don't wait for everything to fall into place before you start. You can start now, and everything else will follow. Pick one thing, one small action that will move you closer to your goal. Whether it's making that phone call, sending that email, or simply writing down your next step, do it now. Take that first step. No matter how small, action leads to momentum, and momentum creates change. The time is now. You can't afford to wait for the perfect moment. Your future is waiting for you to take action today. What will you do with this moment? The choice is yours. Let me leave you with this. Your future is created by what you do today. The choices you make in this moment will shape everything that comes next. Every small decision you make, every action you take, compounds into bigger changes down the road. What you do today matters more than you think. It's easy to overlook the little things, those small habits, those tiny decisions, but they are the building blocks of your future. They are the foundation for everything you want to accomplish, and they all start right now. So ask yourself, what one thing can I do today that will move me closer to my dreams? What decision can I make now that will impact my future? Whatever it is, do it. Make today the day you take that first step toward the life you want to create. Your future is in your hands. Remember, tomorrow will only happen if you take action today. Make today count. You are the creator of your future. The life you want, the success you crave, it's all built on the choices you make in this very moment. So make them count. Get moving. Your future starts now.